followed by a 3 on the other end. And that 5-minute surge gave the Hoosiers a 5-point lead. Taylor Minnick is a rat when it comes to her craft. That's the word that head coach Shonda Stanton used to describe Minnick as a player when I spoke to her earlier this week. The Hoosiers also rotated their pitching staff throughout the game, and a lot of the younger arms saw their time on the mound Tuesday. Now you've got some decorations going on to be a part of a group like this, and for your whole team to take this series in a dominant fashion like they did. What does that say about your team and the Oregon Ducks? The feeling of winning last year and standing on that podium is nearly indescribable. We would love to win again, but any pressure is just self-inflicted. Aiden Fisher was also in attendance at Media Day on Tuesday, sharing what he feels has shifted in the locker room since last season. Since arriving on campus and joining the team, Dickerson's offensive presence has been almost impossible to ignore in college baseball. As one of the top power hitters in the nation, loud was the word that he used to describe his old swing. He said his hands were sloppy, and since then, they've really calmed his hands down, transitioned the load, and his swing is now more rotational and not as linear, attributing to his success. Well, you mentioned Ty Felton, right? And I think that he is going to be one of their biggest threats. I mean, I was watching their head coach's press conference from yesterday, and he described Felton as the best thing since sliced bread. You talk about this relationship with your team, and now you have your second back-to-back 10-win season. Kind of what's that feeling in being a part of a program like this? Head coach Curt Cignetti tends to like to craft his rosters with older, more experienced players. However, that causes a lot of turnover come season to season.
I mean, he's just such a fiery, ruthless guy, and I feel like if that aura pours into his team, they've got that shot.
Hey, Indiana fans. It is looking to be another jam-packed, crazy week for Indiana athletics. I'm Ava Wegenke, and you're watching What's Up Next for the Hoosier Network. Without further ado, let's get into it. They were seeded number 10 against number 7 Notre Dame, and they will be traveling to South Bend, Indiana on December 20th and play the Fighting Irish at 8 p.m. for the first time in program history since 1991. Here right now in Indiana's tailgating fields, about to go find some of the most outrageous and dedicated fans. Without further ado, let's get to it.
I think 2 losses is pretty fair, actually. I don't really see, I mean, Illinois is at home ready for when your name is called. And so I think seeing that they have a lot of confidence in Taven coming in. So, you're getting the attention of people who have maybe not paid attention to football before.
Indiana's defense has been making waves this season. And in games like the one against Michigan, their contribution makes all the difference, like leading to a win.
My teams have always played really good defense. And Bryant Haynes does a great job. And you got guys like Kamara and Carpenter and C.J. West and Linnell Carr and Fisher and Walker and Pons and, now Farrell, Terry John, and on, Jameer Johnson. And you got guys coming in the rotation. They got a lot of pride about the way we play.
A key contributor to this defense, lineman and number 6, Mikal Kamara. Coming into the game as a tabbed Defensive Player of the Week after his performance at Michigan State, Kamara had 5 total tackles and a fumble recovery that created a scoring drive. But Saturday's win did not just birth from Kamara's fumble recovery. Other linemen like C.J. West, who had 9 tackles total, helped lead this defense through the adversity.
C.J. West was a guy who was a key addition to this football team after spring ball. We were very thin on the defensive line. That was a big get for us. And it's great to see him playing at such a high level right now.
Warrior mentality. That's the buzz phrase that West used to describe this defense. And it comes from preparation, whether that's watching film or practice reps. And most importantly, it keeps them ready and prepared for anything that the game throws at them.
It's definitely when you kind of get in that mindset, it's going to be a really gritty game. It's going to be a run-stopping game. It's going to be a physical, tough fight. So, when you get that, that mentality, it's just you got to go out there and do it.
That mentality came into play against Michigan. Indiana head coach Curt Cignetti calling their performance as simple as great.
Great effort, flew around, swarmed the ball.
For the Hoosier Network, I'm Ava Wegenke.
Capella makes the final turn, and the most storied team in the history of the Women's Little Five has added a page to the record book.
1 year ago, Kappa Alpha Theta added to their legacy in the women's Little 500, securing the 2024 title and further cementing their place in race history. Already one of the most decorated teams in the field, it was Bailey Capella who crossed the finish line that day. And even after all the preparation and hard work, she credited the win to something simple.
I think a little bit of bike racing comes down to luck. A lot of it's hard work and strategy, but you have to have a little bit of luck in the race.
Now, as the reigning champions, Theta knows all eyes are on them. But for this team, the only real limits are the ones they set for themselves.
If there's pressure, it's internal. I think our alumni and our coaches and everybody in the house is so supportive of what we do that no matter what happens, they're going to be proud of us.
According to Capella, preparing for the race isn't easy. It takes discipline, and you have to be a smart rider who truly understands the race.
One of Theta's biggest strengths is probably our strategy and just how we understand the race. I think you can be a really good rider, but if you don't understand how the race is or how to be a smart rider, I don't think you'll ever stack up against somebody that does. And I think at the end of the day, there's a lot of really smart riders, but it's just who can be most resourceful on the bike.
For Capella, what matters most isn't the trophies or the attention. It's about being a part of something bigger than herself and leaving behind a mark that lasts long after the race is over.
It's so cool to see that the women's field has grown so much over the past 2 years, and to be part of something that is just on this rise in women's sports is one of the coolest things and most rewarding things that I've been a part of. And being able to leave my mark might not be necessarily leaving my name somewhere, but helping grow something that's bigger than myself.